Okay, it's March 21st, and this is the GaNooze special. I feel kind of like shit, and I'm depressed. So there you go. 2-for-1 bonus. Lucky you. Alright, Iraqi sort of news. Yeah, troop levels are probably not going to go down this summer. They're going to suspend that whole idea, and then, you know, but so, whatever. It's not even news. Sorry, I shouldn't even report it because it's all bullshit anyway. Yeah, we're never going to get out of there. You know, we're just stuck. Bin Laden, you know, made some new threats, you know, new Jedi, whatever, Hafwa, blah, blah, blah. You know, about the Palestinians, but, you know, it's just another, it's just, you know, it's just a flavor of the day excuse for violence. That's all he really wants, because that's to his advantage, you know, and I guess to some extent his theory of making us broke is, you know, working out pretty good, because we're just about there. Alright, there's a stupid divorce case about the ex-governor here in New Jersey, and, you know, it makes the national news because, you know, this guy says some outrageous things and blah, 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 and, you know, some of it's true, I suppose, I guess, maybe, I don't know. But whatever, it's just such bullshit. You know, it's this governor who, you know, he married a woman, became governor, you know, and then declared himself a homosexual, blah, 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 had a couple of kids. It's just bullshit, you know. But anyway, so the wife's trying to sue him for some money, you know, even though he doesn't have all that much. Yeah, she's, you know, she's having a hard time of it. The court's not being very cooperative because the court basically agrees that he wasn't malicious. But they still haven't decided the issue of whether he willfully lied to her, you know, in the marriage vows. But anyway, I just hate the whole fucking story. It just sucks. Speaking of governors, so I might as well bring up that other governor, that New York governor guy, Patterson or whatever. You know, the day after he's sworn in as governor, then he announces, well, yes, I've been unfaithful and had some affairs and all this crap. And you know, it's just, these guys are just such liars. You know, when it's to their political advantage not to be a lying scumbag, then they're not, you know, then all of a sudden they're telling the truth. But, you know, when it's to their advantage to keep the secret, well, then they keep the secret. They don't say, when they're running, they don't say, yes, I have an open marriage with my wife. No, they don't say that kind of shit. You know, so it's, you know, look at, he's a liar. He's just demonstrated he's a fucking liar. So he lied in the past about the circumstance, and so fuck him. Asshole. Well, I was never asked. That kind of bullshit. Anyway. So anyway, there's this weird story, the stingray thing, you know, the little, you know, marine bats or whatever you want to call them, the big old bats flying. Well, anyway, they fly out of the air sometime, apparently to knock off parasites, and apparently they give birth that way. You know, they shoot out of the air and give birth. But anyway, so anyway, one of them jumped out of the water, one called one of these spotted eagle rays, and you know, smashed right into this woman in a boat and killed her. So they don't know whether she died from the impact with the ray, or whether she hit the boat and then died, or however she died. But she didn't die apparently from getting stung by his barb, but instead died from the impact. And apparently the stingray died also. So it's kind of a multiple tragedy there. But just kind of an unusual event, so that's what you get. You go motorsporting about in the ocean, you might get hit by a stingray. Might happen. Apparently it can happen anyway. Alright, what the hell is this? Okay, so this Titan, the scientists, again, brilliant scientists, have now concluded that one of the moons on Saturn, Titan, might have a whole big liquid ocean, right? The catch is, it's you know, underneath 62 miles of ice. Yeah, and they're speculating on what kind of life might be living in there. Yes, 62 miles under the ice. Yes. Okay, it's probably a very interesting world, 62 miles under the ice. You know, and apparently, but whatever life form it is, it apparently hasn't crawled up onto the surface and put up any periscopes or radio devices. So, whatever is squirming around over there probably isn't doing much. 62 miles under the ice. Yeah, whatever. With ammonia in the water also, so it's probably not very nice. Probably worse than toilet water, actually. But anyway, who cares? Scientists have nothing better to do than speculate on this shit, because guess what? There's nothing new to learn. In spite of what some people think, there's nothing new to learn. We got all the real stuff already, okay? All they're doing is digging up bullshit now. They're just trying to find something a little bit interesting. Fuck. All right, I think there's another science story here. Ah, yes, another Science magazine, right? They published this story, apparently, that how it feels good to be a giver. You know, apparently they surveyed people and asked them how they feel about themselves before and after they had them artificially give, you know, and they did different ways, but, you know, the surveys were all based on their own opinion of how happy they are. And apparently they were always happier after they were a giver. And it just sounds, you know, this just sounds like something written by Mary Poppins or something, you know. I mean, I'm all for the give thing. I'm all for be a giver, not a taker, and all that crap, and don't expect too much from life and all that shit. Lower expectations and be a giver and help out and be productive and all that crap. But this idea, you know, this is just this is thin science, very thin science when you're asking people to give them your opinion of what they are feeling. Anyway. All right, the investment banks and shit, you know, the Fed has this new scheme where they let them borrow money overnight, and yeah, apparently they're borrowing quite a bit, like 27 or 8, or I don't know, the high was like 34 billion or something. And so, yeah, it's just, you know, and it's all, you know, the collateral for the loans is all based on all them shitty loans, all them bad mortgages and crap that are out there. And that's what they're letting the banks collateralize to get these overnight loans of cash. And so, you know, that sooner or later somebody's going to just borrow the money from the Fed and they'll go bankrupt, and the $34 billion will be our problem. I mean, it's that kind of bullshit will be happening. Just a way of making the federal government end up buying all these bad loans. Fuckers. All right, yeah, a lot of stuff in the economy, but, you know, down. Unemployment is rising and jobs are shrinking. And, you know, the stock market went up big yesterday, but it went down pretty big, I think, today, a couple 100, 300 points maybe. I don't know, last I looked anyway. But yeah, it was so stupid. What the hell did it go up yesterday for? I was just stupid. You know, this psychology, because they lowered the interest rate, that's going to solve all the problems? No, it's not going to solve anything. You know, we're fucked. Get real. I mean, you know, the stocks aren't going, it's not going up anywhere, okay? It's just not. It's not going to happen, fellas. Give it up.